Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's continue on my CD collection. Today, we're going to talk about this one. Today, I am going to read reviews. Welcome back. Okay, so basically this session of the CDs is basically based on soundtracks and a little misround of CDs I picked up in very music stores or basically Dollar Tree or whatever originally. The Dollar Tree sell were pretty well cheap and very well probably most disturbed CDs, which is back in the day. But yeah, for what it's worth, it's pretty wide for that what it is. But yeah, I'm not just really as a movie buff, but I'm also very well cut into the CD because back in the day I used to collect a bunch of CDs at the time, and I'm very proud of it. So first off, I think everybody probably should know about this, and I think this is wise that I recommend for people who are interested to basically pick up the Blu-ray, which I will eventually come up and pick up the Blu-ray Walt Disney movie. We have the Lion King soundtrack. Oh yes, this is actually one of my all-time favorite movies and all-time favorite album. I mean, come on, this is something that a lot of people should basically know about this because, if you're not a Lion King fan of the movie itself, I mean, if you go to the Broadway play, I mean, it's just a phenomenon, or I want to say, a phenomenon hit, or what should I say, a phenomenon performance, because like I say, not just because the songs are very good, but the story is very well driven. I mean, come on, Lion King is just one of the greatest all-time movies that ever been released in Walt Disney in the 90s. I mean, come on. I mean, right before Richard for Hercules and other sort of shit, but Lion King took it to stage. I mean, just took on very much. And I will come around getting the Blu-ray version on. I will get the Blu-ray. I will get the movie on Blu-ray, so you're not going to really appreciate it much. So anyway, this is the soundtrack, and based on all the songs from the movie itself, there's 12 songs on each disc. There's 12 songs on a singular disc. I mean, I can't really speak right now because I don't usually try to talk like this. But anyway, this is the album. I'll give you the front of the cover. You probably can see it, but especially actually 12 songs. Yep, 12 songs. And we're gonna open it up. Oh, you're probably wondering what the sticker's for? This was basically cheap for $3 at I think it was probably somewhere in Denton. I'm not sure which other. Oh yeah, I know. It was CDs and records store, used store. And on the front and on the inside, we have a nice. Design of basically of the Lion King logo. Very interesting of the. You probably can't see it if you get a little close enough. That the album has listened to all the songs, and this is basically just the booklet of the songs. So I guess I can give you a proper look at it. And it's actually a pretty well good booklet because usually sometimes it can basically be sort of. I do love all the songs, like The Circle of Life, Hakuna Matata. I mean, that's just brilliant. Every time when I'm working or basically just doing my daily shopping, I kind of like to sing that song. Hakuna Matata, wanna for praise. I mean, that's just a good song. I mean, come on. You just gotta give that a very well praise. And here's the Hakuna Matata thing, the lyrics. You probably can't see it if you can pause the video. There it is. Look close up it. Yeah. I just love it because it's just great, Richard. Just really great. and just a couple more lyrics. I mean, for what it's worth, I guess I can give you a picture of Simba being as a full-grown lion adult. How cool is that? Yeah, in case you haven't know, this is the picture of Simba, so you're not really missing much. But what I love about the movie is that it's so more. I want to say it's more African richer because, like I say, the idea of really seeing the album itself being very interesting. It's pretty work Richard. Okay, so next up, let's basically, I guess we're going to do something like this. There we go. Next up, we have Blankman! The motion picture soundtrack. Yeah. Let's try that again. Next up, we have Blankman! The soundtrack. Or I guess I did the motion picture soundtrack. Let's try this one last time. I don't think we get this right. Okay, next up we have one of the all-time favorite comedy movies, and I think Richard Wise, that David Wayne himself is pretty well committed funny guy. We have Blankman, the motion picture soundtrack. Oh yes, this is actually, I never expected Richard to get this, Richard, but for what it's worth, I really want the album. I was really desperate. I saw this really cheap at the CDs and record store for under $4. So I was like thinking to myself, hey, I'll buy that for $1. Come on. It's just like, you know, it may sound cheap originally, but come on. It's an awesome album. Because not only basically you got all the songs originally on this album, you probably get most of the songs originally, like, you know, Superhero, Could Make Me Fall in Love. I mean, come on. This is a really awesome album. I don't know what people really enjoy this movie or not, Richard, but I love the movie itself. I especially love the music. I mean, it just turns me on, Richard. I don't know why that is. I guess because since I'm more as a superhero fanatic guy, Richard, just basically listen to so many music that is so thrilling. I mean, come on. It's just great. So anyway, here's a picture of Blankman. I guess the monolith character Blankman, who uses his hands and paws, which I guess doesn't stop. I don't know. But I found the movie pretty funny, but most people don't like it. I personally enjoy it because, for what it's worth, it has a little bit of like the 1960s Batman style, which is the way that you have, and then on the CD itself, we have the basic logo. And this is a pretty cool booklet because it has pretty well image of the movie itself. So put that there. And then if we open it up, you got a nice, awesome, good picture. So we keep continuing open like itself, like that, like this, and it opens like that. How freaking cool is that? And you got like the hands, you got the Power Ascension Bravo logos. It's like, yeah, the pow, bam, sound, and like, you know, like kind of like that comic book style in the comics. And you got, you know, a picture of David Wayne in his Blankman costume. I used to dress up as his character when I was younger, and I used to reenact the movie itself, Richard, just trying to, yeah, because I think it's pretty sunny, Richard. People find the movie funny because I know decent people who love the movie so much and actually dress up as Blankman, wearing the red suit with his grandma's nightgown, I guess. Yeah, nightgown, and wearing rubberized yellow gloves, and have all these gadgets. I used to do that, Richard, when I was younger, and just have like all my contemporary gadgets, and actually make the mask as a red sock. I thought it was basically made. I thought his mask was made out of red sock, but it's actually made out as a I think a scarf, I believe. I'm not sure, Richard. But, you know, for what was his time, I think I had the very to the imagination of reenacting this movie so much. And I'm trying to just listen basically of the songs. But I find it pretty interesting because the movie itself, it really kind of takes on like the 1960s Batman style, Richard. The way that, you know, David Wayne safely pronounced the thing. I mean, if you look at David Wayne's performance, like, you know, Living Color, it's pretty obvious that to give or take, I mean, he's always pretty much a very contributing artist. I mean, how can I say? He's always been doing very contributing roles. For instance, he was dressing up as a superhero. he would dress up as a superhero. If he dressed up as a excuse me, if he dressed up as a let's say average guy who looks so good looking, he would do that. I mean, he's a guy who is a very funny guy. I mean, most people don't find him funny, but I personally find him enjoyable. But to give him a bit of his, you got to be more specific with what you say, Richard. But yeah, I think that's the reason why most people just don't take it seriously. Next up, we have a soundtrack that I personally bought originally a couple of years ago, and this is very old. I did have the first soundtrack on audio cassette tape, but the time when CDs came along to my life, I started collecting audio cassettes. But to give it what it takes, I didn't have much motion picture soundtracks, but I did probably consider getting this one. Pokemon 2000, the movie, the motion picture soundtrack. Oh yes, this is actually the second Pokemon soundtrack. I know a lot of people already talk about this so much, so there's really no preparation for it. But the only thing I find odd is that all the songs, which of course are basically inserting the base of the other albums, are quite originally far different originally than you look at the previous album. But to give you what it takes, originally, it is the content of the album. You do listen to some of the songs in the first film, so you're not really missing much. So you got a nice picture of the album itself. Let's look at the back. And we have Ash, this, I guess, Richard dropping down. You don't see that originally in the movie originally. I don't know why that is. I guess it's just simple around why that is. But that was never shown in the movie originally at all. But oh well, whatever. And then we open it up. We got a nice, awesome, quick artwork, which I think was like the booklet and the back of the CD. So I'll show you that. There's Zapdos and its wonderful performance in the frame. I love that. And see itself, Pokemon 2000, the movie, or should I say the Power of One movie. And then we open up. Originally, for kids, was really trying to release their Pokemon for their network. I guess oh well. And then we got a picture of I guess Moltres. I guess I don't know how to pronounce these Pokemon originally. I just can't remember. So whatever. But we got a nice good booklet of the stuff. So one thing I like about this is because you get a nice, great picture or artwork of all the Pokemon in one package. I mean, look at this. This is so cool. So you got Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charizard, and a few other Pokemon. I can't pronounce them. But like I said before, this is an awesome good booklet. I mean, I love this picture because this is a explanatory. They look like they're just standing there, just actually just waiting for something to happen. Because in the second film, I know the story we talked about already originally. I already discussed about this in the beginning. I guess I haven't talked about it. But I found it pretty odd, basically, for what the movie itself. Because the second movie wasn't really good as I thought it was. I mean, it was great, but to give it for what it was never tempted to be interesting. Because, like I say, most of the time I found it pretty boring, but most of the time it's pretty more interesting. But you know, for what it's worth, it's just basically has I can't even remember, like any other anime movie which is based on a hit phenomenon franchise. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty well considered for what it was. So for what it give for it's probably good, and I will eventually come around and get that on DVD eventually. So. And I know originally thinking that why I haven't showed the Pokemon DVDs as well. I'm waiting until I get all the Pokemon DVDs I used to grew up with and actually the shows I grew up with and actually will show you to. So it's going to take a little while to get the DVDs out of the way. So bear in mind, you'll just wait for just a couple of days or maybe weeks or until. So anyway, so that's Pokemon 2000 Power 1 Most Picture Album. I think you can probably find these originally in Burger, which is the retail stores of the game. But whatever. Next up we have Spider-Man 2, the motion picture soundtrack. Now, originally before I don't have the first album. Yeah, I'm kind of liking original basis of albums. But for what it's worth, I just don't really mind Richard being a little bit late to it. Now I was a little late to pick up the first album, but I did pick up the second album. I actually got this by the mail a couple of years ago, but I'm not sure it was basically this year or probably next year, but whatever. I got this originally appropriate, what I want to say, appropriate edition to actually get much more CDs that coming in, but yeah, for what it's worth, it just kind of linked into its towards me to find out how much albums I basically have originally ended up come for. So basically, this is the second album from the second Spider-Man movie. And that's a picture of Spidey in all his glory. And we open it up, the case itself. We have a nice, great artwork of this itself. I guess I can show you that. And we'll go through the booklet. I'm not really used to talk like this originally. So we go to the booklet and we have a nice good insert of this booklet. It's just right out of all the basic features. Yeah, I did not notice there's a T version for it, so I guess I should, but who cares? It's probably already spied already. And then if we flip to the side, it's check it out! Like a comic book style. I mean, look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? I mean, usually albums used to be so kind of interesting to have originally because they have very great pictures and great art designs, and it's just so cool. It goes like this version. I guess I can show you version. I especially love this picture right here. Him swinging towards me, and I think the Tower Building. I can't really pronounce it, but whatever. Yeah, but pretty cool. So I love that version. That's pretty something right there. Usually you don't see that version much like that originally in albums. So yeah, Spider-Man 2, motion picture soundtrack. That's what we're getting if you basically are interested in to listen to just random music. Because originally albums, soundtracks usually just have group of artists that pick the songs that they actually pick up. So anyway, moving right along, there are, let's see, how many? There are 4 museum DVDs I actually picked up for pretty dirt cheap. So let's put this down here. First up we have Kids Halloween movie themes. Yeah, this is actually not just a random, well this is a random CD originally for me. If I actually purchased at Party City. And they actually sell these originally very well considered stuff. Basically based on movies and TV shows. So you have all the original songs, 14 songs, so you get a bonus disc of basically of the creatures sounds, I guess, song, wherever you call it. So basically you have Ghostbusters, Addams Family, Star Wars, Pokemon, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, the Heckwick theme, X-Men, Vine of the Apes theme, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Great Pumpkin Whipped, I guess you call it, Dawn, the Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, the theme of E.T., Powerpuff Girls, and Jaws. And then on the fifth song, you get a creature feature of the Scary Sound. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now I have to open it up. Oh, what happened there? What happened to the booklet? Well, for some reason I actually tore the booklet by accident, but for what it's worth, it's pretty interesting. And then we got the disc itself, and just the artwork of the TV set, and a blank snowy screen, stuff like that. Yeah, I like this kind of list because it's pretty interesting. But yeah, this is actually a Drew Flammond party music that he actually creates very with music early. He actually basically recreate the music from the other songs from other albums and actually make it more as a kid friendly. So pretty interesting. Then we have Valentine Beethoven, Now, I'm not really, and you're thinking, why you basically will listen to this era? Because it's Beethoven. Well, for starters, I enjoy listening to Beethoven music. I mean, not just temporarily I listen to his music, but I kind of find it pretty interesting to listen to it. Because, like I said, a lot of times I like to listen to very considerable background music. Just basically just nothing but music. No lyrics or nothing. But most of the time, I usually listen to that originally. So, yeah, give it what it take. And this is just the, I think, this is the, I can't pronounce how it is. The Venerable Beethoven, I guess you call it, whatever you call it. But yeah, you know, back, I guess it's people. And something originally that's only search or in a book of this is so, yeah. So how cool is that? And then I really want to get this. I will eventually come around and get a couple more of these albums because throughout the 90s, I never got around to really getting their CDs. But I do have the 20. Now it's not 20. That's what I call Music 20, Volume 20. This was basically released so much. There was so much albums of these, which is so much throughout the course of the 90s to make 2000s. And I have to say, for what it's worth, this is probably far more visually based to listen to when you pick up a cheap version album version from their purchase store and they current owners. But for what it's worth, I actually enjoy this version so much because there are songs I do remember originally, like Missy Elliott, featuring Sharon, Batman, Scoop, Lose Control, and the whole shebang. So I guess it would be the front. Nice. They show you the backup. They show you the front vision. Okay. And then if you open it up, look at that. It's like a Christmas tree. And on the inserts, I will eventually come around in the other, now I call music, but that's what I call music. Because they was released, these were about more now, originally. And this is continue making more of these, originally. So I will eventually come around picking those up, originally. If I can find them on, if I can make them on bootleg, I could probably do it. So basically, on this booklet, you just have a list of the base of all the artists' albums. Nothing too fancy, but I'd like to say pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's that. And like that. So goes back right to the booklet. Yeah, like I said before, I will eventually come around picking up more of that's now. I guess I don't know how you pronounce it, but now that's what I call music albums very soon, maybe hopefully. And then finally, we get to the parts that most people don't really heard about this, but it's just based on volume music, which there's no lyrics or anything. We have, I guess you call it Tranton, something like that. Tranton, Travas. I don't know how to pronounce it, but pretty well interesting album for dirt cheap. I got this version from Dollar Tree for $1. And I thought it was pretty cool, originally, because, you know, you get certain songs, like, for instance, like the Tops, Universe, stuff like that, originally. You just got random songs which are on the single, on this disc. So, you're not really missing much. And there's no insert, just a paper sleeve of all the songs. And nice disc artwork. I do like this artwork. I was kind of looking at this artwork thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. Got its, like, paint stains, little prints, as we thought. And another thing fancy, just basically just streamline, scribbles, stuff like that. But I do like the artwork, which I do love the artwork. I thought it was pretty interesting. So, turning from the songs, we have For Your Dreams. Now, I'm Not Going Home, So This Was Your Thing. I really don't like speaking the whole song with it, but, you know, for what it's worth, it's like a, well, I want to say, not a disco, but also there's a very remix of songs based on different albums. So You're not really missing much. Which was created? Street Share Entertainment Group Incorporated. Yeah. For some worse reason, they actually make a bunch of albums of basically this. It's actually a trend of collection of certain songs, so you're not really missing much. So, yeah, that's definitely awesome. But so that includes my soundtrack and miscellaneous CDs I picked up. Yeah, I'm really glad to own this of a collection. I was very surprised with it. For what it's worth, I'm just very happy we should get him. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. And there's still a couple more albums I wanted to show you guys. So tune in for part 3 of my CD overview collection. So until then, make sure to stay around. Thank you for watching, and sayonara. Record store for under $4. So I was like thinking to myself, hey, I'll buy that for $1. Come on. It's just like, it maybe sound cheap originally, but come on. It's an awesome album. Because not only basically you got all the songs on this album, you probably get most of the songs that are like, Superhero, could make you fall in love. I mean, come on. This is a really awesome album. I don't know what people really enjoy this movie or not, but I love the movie itself. I especially love the music. I mean, it just turns me on, Richard. I don't know why that is. I guess because since I'm more as a superhero fanatic guy, Richard, just basically listen to so many music that is so thrilling. I mean, come on, it's just great. So anyway, here's a picture of the Blank Man. I guess the monolith character Blank Man, who uses his hands and paws, which I guess doesn't stop. I don't know, but I found the movie pretty funny. But most people don't like it. I personally enjoy it because, for what it's worth, it has a little bit of like the 1960s Batman style, which is the way that you have, and then on the CD itself, we have the basic logo. And this is a pretty cool booklet because it has pretty well image of the movie itself. So put that there. And then if we open it up, you got nice, awesome, good pictures that we keep continuing open like itself, like that, like this, and it opens like that. How freaking cool is that? And you got like the hands, you got the 12 zones, and we open it up. Oh, you probably wondering what the sticker's for? This was basically cheap for $3 at I think it was probably somewhere in Denver. I'm not sure which other. Oh yeah, I know. It was CDs and records store, used store. And on the front and on the inside, we have a nice, design of basically of the Live King logo. Very interesting of the. You probably can't see it if you get a little close enough. That the album has listed all the songs, and this is basically just the booklet of the songs. So I guess I can give you a proper look at it. And it's actually a pretty well good booklet because sometimes it basically be sort of. I do love all the songs, like the Circle of Life, Hakuna Matata. I mean, that's just brilliant. Every time when I'm working or basically just doing my daily shopping, I kind of like to sing that song. Hakuna Matata, wanna for praise. I mean, that's just a good song. I mean, come on. You just gotta give that a very well praise. And here's the Kuma-san thing, the lyrics. You probably can't see it if you can pause the video. There it is. Look close up it. Yeah. I just love it because it's just great, Richard. Just really great. And just a couple more lyrics. I mean, for what it's worth, I guess I can give you a picture of Simba being as a full-grown lion adult. How cool is that? Yeah, in case you ever know, this is the picture of Simba, so you're not really missing much. But what I love about the movie is that it's so more. I want to say it's more African, Richard, because, like I say, the idea of really seeing the album itself being very interesting. It's pretty work, Richard. Okay, so next up, I guess we can do something like this. There we go. Next up, we have Man, they made the motion picture soundtrack. Yeah. Let's try that again. Next up we have Man, this soundtrack. Or I guess I did the motion picture soundtrack. Let's try this one last time. I don't think we get this right. Okay, next up we have one of the all-time favorite comedy movies, and I think Richard Wise, that David Wayne himself is pretty well committed funny guy. We have Man, the motion picture soundtrack. Oh yes, this is actually, I never expected to originally get this, Richard, but for what it's worth, I really want the album. I was really desperate. I saw this really cheap at the CDs. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's continue on my CD collection. Today, we're going to talk about this one. Today, I am going to read reviews. Welcome back. Okay, so basically this session of the CDs is basically based on soundtracks and a little mystery of CDs I picked up in very music stores, or basically, Dollar Tree or whatever originally. The Dollar Tree sell were pretty well cheap and very well probably most disturbed CDs, which is back in the day. But yeah, for what it's worth, it's pretty wide for that what it is. But yeah, I'm not just really as a movie buff, but I'm also very well cut into the CD, because back in the day I used to collect a bunch of CDs at the time, and I'm very proud of it. So first off, I think everybody probably should know about this, and I think this is wise that I recommend for people who are interested to basically pick up the Blu-ray, which I will eventually come up and pick up the Blu-ray Walt Disney movie. We have the Lion King soundtrack. Oh yes, this is actually one of my all-time favorite movies and all-time favorite album. I mean, come on, this is something that a lot of people should basically know about this, because, if you're not a Lion King fan of the movie itself, I mean, if you go to the Broadway play, I mean, it's just a phenomenon, or I want to say, a phenomenon hit, or what should I say, a phenomenon performance, because, like I say, not just because the songs are very good, but the story is very well driven. I mean, come on, Lion King is just one of the greatest all-time movies that ever been released in Walt Disney in the 90s. I mean, come on. I mean, right before Richard, for Hercules and other sort of shit, but Lion King took it to stage. I mean, just took on very much. And I will come around getting the Blu-ray version on. I will get the Blu-ray. I will get the movie on Blu-ray, so you're not going to really appreciate it much. So anyway, this is the soundtrack, and based on all the songs from the movie itself, there's 12 songs on each disc. There's 12 songs on a singular disc. I mean, I can't really speak right now because I don't usually try to talk like this. But anyway, this is the album. I'll give you the front of the cover. You probably can see it, but especially actually 12 songs.